So Trey, what were you saying about what the costumes and dressing up
Oh,
this year?
yeah,
What's going
so,
on?
like, my work was like, "Oh, we're gonna dress up for Halloween, and everybody should vote on the, like, types of costume or like, oh, Mario Brothers theme or, like, Disney Pixar theme," and the one that won was food, and I'm like, "What, am I gonna walk in and, like, eval somebody's shoulders like a fucking bundle of grapes? Like, hey, guy?" No, I'm not doing
You
that.
should be like a life-size piece of pizza that makes you keep your arms like straight out to the
Yeah,
side.
so I
So
can't even
you're like, okay,
I'm gonna
okay,
Well,
inject your knee now?
yeah, I can't move my arms, so I can't
Yeah,
touch your
here you go.
knees.
I'm just gonna
listen,
shoot it like a squirt gun.
I gotta fold it like a New York slice. Hold on.
listen. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but it's terminal. Okay, have a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you tilt your pepperoni and walk on out the door.
Either that or everyone should have gone as like bananas. Like the whole office should have been a
Yeah.
bananas, and then the head doctor could have been a gorilla, like the one gorilla for the
Could have been
whole day.
pajamas, and then we'd be bananas and pajamas.
In pajamas, he would be the
Oh man,
pajamas.
bananas in
In
pajamas
pajamas
are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are coming down in pairs.
In
Hey.
pairs. That's it. Oh, that was a good one. Well, welcome back to Nostalgia Land. Thanks for joining
Welcome
us.
back.
Let's hear that bump.
Okay, man.
What? That's the stuff.
That's it. That's the jam.
Shot of
I don't
just a shot
remember
of feel
how
good right there.
Yeah, I don't remember how I found that music, but man, am I glad I did. And then I know my wife, a lot of people don't know this, it screams at the end. That's actually my wife. She's just like,
Yeah, she saw our show one time and she was like, ah!
Forget this. Yeah. Well, welcome back. My name is Matt. This is Trey and Tyler. We're so happy to have you here. Come on in, relax. What we do here is we talk about everything nostalgic. We talk about things from our childhood, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and today. Just basically anything we're passionate about that we can, either tear apart or celebrate completely. And that just kind of depends on if it's good or not, or if it was great and we just happen to be 8. So yeah, come on in and join us. Today we are doing what originally I think was like kind of a cult classic. I don't remember this being like a big hit, like out of the summer block.
Off
or
of
whatever.
a $6 million budget, it did $30 million.
Okay, so that's a decent hit.
Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to release theatrically in the United States.
Yeah,
it was supposed to go straight to DVD.
Oh,
but like the online forums and stuff were so positive that they decided to do a theatrical release.
Oh man, so this is 2004's Shaun of the Dead. Shaun.
The first installment in the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why are they called Cornetto? Can we
the Cornetto, the ice cream cones? That's what they're called in England.
Oh,
and they eat them in every, like in this one where he's like, "You want anything from the corner store?" And he's like, "Cornetto."
Cornetto. And you know where that originally came from was the writer Edgar Wright, right? That's his name?
Yeah, Edgar Wright. Yep.
Yeah, Edgar Wright, the co-writer, him and Simon Pegg, who plays Shaun in this movie, co-wrote this movie together. But he had a bad hangover, and he ate a Cornetto, and it cured his hangover. So that became like his thing. Every time he would drink too much, he would wake up in the morning and eat a Cornetto. So that's literally where it comes from in this movie. Ed, they drank the night before. He's like, "You want anything from the shop?" He's like, Cornetto.
That makes sense. Oh my god, I love the little details behind that. Yeah, so I mean, this definitely was not one that I saw in theaters. It was certainly one that just came up from the DVD library, some random thing. I think this was like one of the last things I remember renting from Blockbuster, because this would have been my freshman year. Yeah, man. So this would have been high school freshman year. Be kind.
Be kind.
Rewind. Those are words to live by. But awesome.
Favorite
I mean,
shirt, and it's got a hole.
Oh, nice.
Still my favorite.
The holy shirt.
Well, that's what makes
it
it
like brand new, has a hole in it. What the
hell? Yeah, man. So honestly, first takes out of this, I just want to ask you guys, if a zombie apocalypse happened, what is your go-to? What is like your game plan? I think most men think about this at least once or twice in their life.
Oh, easy. I'm going to the Baja.
I'm
I'm going to Baja Soda.
I'm gonna bring Minnesota to the Baja. Baja soda.
You two are lucky though, because at least like you have access to boats. Because that was always my game plan, just like get to a harbor, get on
Yeah,
a
the
boat.
problem with boats is like you'll run out of supplies.
Everything.
Yeah, you wouldn't like
You
go
gotta
hang out
find,
like a
the
key.
Unless
Castaway
you know how to.
Island.
I mean, you're really good at fishing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and making fires. Then maybe you got a chance. You can
Oh,
make a
yeah.
fire with some fish. Yeah, Trey, how
It's
about you?
glad-
Have you thought about a game plan to get your
Yeah,
wife and kid out of the city?
Like a good, like where I went to grad school, like up in Blacksburg, Virginia. There's like, if you're not like at Virginia Tech, there's like 5 people. Oh, like it's perfect because like you can they still have like big box style stores like Target and stuff like that. So if you could
That's where
get
you
to
go.
one
You
of
go to
those,
Costco.
Get your
yep,
supplies.
you got to get to a store that has like a lot of non-perishable goods. So like
They have
Indian
everything you need. There's no windows, and the zombies can't get in without a membership.
That's absolutely true. You stand there like, sorry, I need to see your card.
You do BJ's also.
Need to see
Yeah,
your
BJ's
card.
awesome. BJ's
See you
awesome.
there. I'm
So-
actually sorry. Go ahead.
I think like the original couple seasons of Walking Dead did a really good job with that, and then
Mm.
like toward the end, Walking Dead kind of, I don't want to say jumps the shark, but it kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
It
Like,
jumps. It jumps sharks. Yeah.
I
gets
feel
nutty.
like with every zombie story that drags on that long, they all become about people against people, which
Yeah.
is really what probably would happen in real life. But what made that show so cool was them trying to survive the zombies, and the zombies kind of take not even a backseat. They're like outside walking behind the car as we're driving off down the road.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what I wouldn't do is what they did in the last season of Game of Thrones. I'm not going in a fucking crypt for the zombie apocalypse. Like,
Yeah.
what were you thinking? Like, oh, they raised the dead? Cemetery. That's where we're going.
Right now, heading out. I'm a huge zombie survivalist kind of thing, like fan kind of thing. Survivalist fan. I love knowing I read the book by Max Brooks, World War Z, before they made it into a Brad Pitt,
Those are the
which I
scary
liked
zombies.
it. What is it?
Those are the scary zombies. Those are like the runners.
Yeah, and I
Trey,
go back and forth.
Get up on your mic. It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, right up on it. Like
Those are
on
the
it.
scary zombies. Those are the runners.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, I appreciated in this one that they kind of were like, okay, we're doing like the slow ones, because the slow ones I feel like are the more, it's a bit more manageable. Like just if you're like around and you can like kind of space them out a little bit, they're really like, you know, kind of lumbering. But I loved how they turned that into not an opportunity to like win and be successful in this movie. It actually turned into one of the best running gags and the jokes of it, and that really the downfall, like you were saying with The Walking Dead, the downfall of this survival group is that they're all morons.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly bickering and finding stupid things to like be upset about. And it's actually, that's what leads to their downfall. So Shaun of the Dead Man.
And the funniest part is before the zombie apocalypse even kicks off, the Judgment Day, as they call it. You already want to kill Ed, and then it all kicks off, and then you really want to kill Ed. 'Cause you're like, dude, they would be fine if it wasn't for this absolute idiotic moron.
Yeah, I mean, and it's played by Nick Frost, who's now being he's going to be our Hagrid. He's going to be our new Hagrid.
Oh, okay.
In the HBO Harry Potter series. So I am excited to see what he'll do with that. Because you know, I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I think they're great.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
They're awesome.
wonderful nerds. They're just wonderful. So yeah, man. So I wanted to see. I had some notes here about the opening up.
There was a joke that they cut from the movie because at this time the zombie like whole boom hadn't happened yet.
Oh
and they were basically right at the forefront of zombie movies. They have the original Rom-Zom-Com, which is a romantic zombie comedy.
Wow.
Which that's one of the things I love so much about this movie was they grew up loving Dawn of the Dead and you know these like George A. Romero movies, these classic zombie movies, and they wanted to make a zombie comedy, but not make it a spoof,
Mm.
which is so hard to do, and it's hilarious, and it's really a zombie movie where people are getting torn apart by zombies and people are dying all over the place, and it's still very funny, and it's the romance of uh you know him and Liz, his girlfriend, like trying to work it out. But
Yeah.
the joke that they ended up cutting was like, I can't remember which movie it was that was coming out at the same time, but they somehow got a script, an early script for another one of the movies, and they had a running zombie in it, and it was the jogger in the movie. And they ended up cutting it out of their own movie because they were only going to have one running zombie, and it was going to be the jogger that's in the beginning of the
that he
movie.
sees like on
And
his walk to work.
yeah, like when they do that walk to work scene, the guy goes jogging by, and then when he goes to work to the shop the next day, that guy sprints by, like looking behind him, all freaked out. And it's one of my favorite jokes in the entire movie, how he's walking to work and just all hell is breaking loose all around him, and he's so in his own world and up his own ass, he notices none of it.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, not even when he goes into the refrigerator to pull out his Coke, and
And a bloody
he's
hand.
looking down and he opens the refrigerator and there's the two bloody handprints and he doesn't even see them. He just
Oh, and
grabs
then
his knife.
and he's going to walk out and he slips on blood and doesn't
Yeah.
even like look down.
Yeah.
I actually I paused it several times because they set it up really great. Because so Shaun is trying to like, Shaun's at a pub, he's trying to convince Liz, and they do just, I think, very classic British humor where it seems like a very normal like conversation, and then like they just kind of expand on it. And the best thing is that like Liz is like, but you're always just hanging out with your best friend. He's like, no, I'm not. And then the camera pans over and he's like, Shaun, do you want another round? He's like, no, I'm okay. And it's his best friend. And then he's like, and you never want to hang out with my friends. Oh my gosh, I'm kicking myself right now. Every time I do this, I
David
start David and
And-
Diane, right?
and
Die.
Diane,
Yeah, Diane or Die.
yeah.
And Ed. So man, I do this every time I start talking about these things. Anywho, so they and they go, yeah. He's like, no, it's not that I don't want to hang out with him. And then of course he turns, he's like, it's not that I don't like you or something. And of course they're there too. Like
He says, an insufferable twat and a failed actor,
yes,
or a terrible actor. And he says, I never said that. And she said, oh, yes, you did. And he turns to her and he says, I never said you were a failed actor. Talking to the girl,
To
but
Diane,
the
yeah.
insufferable twat thing he doesn't even address because he totally said that.
Yeah, her boyfriend David is just that.
The
Yeah,
one.
it's pretty. It's hard to like him. I kept trying to see if like how as this movie progresses, like just something that you do. You save the cat. I had a hard time with Ed actually rewatching this and just how
Yeah.
aggressively like useless he
Stupid and
was.
selfish.
Yes, and selfish, exactly. But yeah, so we follow Shaun. He's doing his daily routine, like you said. He gets up, walks out, goes to the shop, talks to a guy, gets uh, a Coke. He first picks up the Coke, looks on the back, and I guess he's seeing how much sugar's in it, and then he like
He puts it back.
automatically and he puts it back, and then he picks
No.
up the Diet Coke, doesn't he?
Yeah, the second day.
Oh, the second day is that okay?
When they're telling
Yeah.
him to like turn his life around.
Yeah, because they
After,
have a roommate.
after Liz.
Yeah, after Liz drops him. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you see him go to work at like this like electronics almost like a
store.
Radio Shack. It's
Yeah.
the equivalent of a Radio Shack. And
It's
you
like
hear
Bones and
and some Bone Thugs and Harmony.
no,
Uh,
Bones and something store from
Oh, Bones and Jack and Bones
yeah, Jack and Bones.
from In the Army Now.
Yeah.
And so he gets like disrespected by everybody at work because basically it's like a high school, college age style position that he has.
yeah.
And like this 17-year-old is like, yeah, you're a bum. like you don't
He
do
keeps
anything.
calling him grandpa
Yeah,
and stuff like the granddad. He's like, take it easy, granddad.
yeah.
Is
He's like,
is
don't
it
call
a
me
problem?
granddad. I'm your manager. He's like, okay, whatever, granddad.
He's like, what do you mean, granddad? I'm 29. I know you don't want to be here forever.
Yeah.
But, we're what are you, 21, 22? I'm 17. He's like, yeah,
That's
like you, I have stuff that I want to do in my life. And the kid's response is, when?
Yeah. And then he gets visited by his stepdad.
Yes, played by the great Bill Nye. Philip
Phil.
is his stepdad.
Phil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Philip.
Who-
And he hasn't.
And they keep
haven't
calling him
been-
his dad, and he keep the whole movie saying, "He's not my dad."
It's my stepdad.
and
Stepdad. Go.
he's basically like giving him crap because he didn't go see his mom on Mother's Day. Like he forgot to bring her flowers. And
Didn't bring her flowers
he's like, maybe you could come see your mother this weekend. He's like, I was gonna.
for
and he's
your
like,
bi-monthly visit.
and yeah, and bring her the flowers you forgot to bring her on Mother's Day. And he's like, I was gonna. And he's like, and not a cheap one from a garage flower sale. I wasn't gonna. And he's it's something that you keep he keeps repeating to him. He's you got red on you. And he looks
Yeah.
down and his pen has
got the
burst in his
pin.
pocket.
The
Like-
second time I
like-
watched this, I finally caught where that happened. I was like, when did he?
Yeah.
Oh
when-
yeah.
How is he getting red on him? And then I actually saw it. It's he's giving the morning lecture to
Mhm.
the people, and he's like, and they kind of subtly kind of start saying like something's wrong, something's off, because in the newspapers, I paused it, and I'll post the image with this video, but I paused it because on the newspapers it's like normal stuff, but then some people, it's like a couple of them are like end of days, weird outbreak, a flu, like of seasonal flu has gone weird, something's happening. And then with him, he says that their manager is out sick, and so that puts him in charge, and that's where they make fun of him,
Yeah.
because he's like, well, you're just the oldest, that's why you're in charge.
Yeah, and he
So,
says
yeah.
like not only is the like manager out, but the assistant manager is also out sick.
Yes.
And you notice when I love what they do, where like him going to work, there's all this stuff happening around him, but there's so many, like when he gets on the bus, especially,
yeah.
it's just a bunch of zombies sitting around him doing the same thing, going to work the same way every day.
The
And
mundane.
They're all just sitting there, like they look like zombies already. But then when he's looking out the window, he looks at the bus stop, and the lady just collapses onto the ground, and that's
Yeah.
like the first like, what was that?
Yeah, what the hell?
And
is
then
that?
as he's walking home from the bus stop, there's the guy in his car that like the ambulance is like taking out of the car because he was just like collapsed on the wheel.
Yeah.
And you hear as they're flipping through channels, like they do that a couple times. But the first time there's like a report of a space probe breaking up into like a populated British area.
Yes.
And that's a nod to Dawn of the Dead, because that's
Yeah.
how the dead wake in Dawn of the Dead.
Mhm.
And then later on, as he's flipping through channels, it's like millions of reports of people, and then it's like he
Channel
flips the
flip.
channel. It's like people in everyday cities, and then he flips, and
Channel
it's like
flip.
Animal Planet. It's like being eaten alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you string the whole thing together, it makes one long sentence about exactly what's going down in the real world. He's just flipping channels the whole time.
It hurt me actually when they started talking about the channels, and I'm guessing this was the PS2, and they started looking at the TVs and the electronics in the electronics store. I'm like, oh man, 2004, it was 21 years ago, and it shows.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
So he gets-
harsh.
He gets home from work, and he's promised to take Liz, his girlfriend, to like this nice restaurant, and he
Yes.
calls. And
The place where
they're
they
like-
make the place with the fish.
Yeah.
They do the fish.
The
Yes.
place- and when he looks it up in the yellow pages, which another thing from a bygone era, it's like the name of the place is a guy's name, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but
See if I
it's
can
a
find it.
famous horror director. I
Like
think he was
Romero
a
or-
French horror director, and right underneath it says the place where they do the fish.
Yes. I love it though.
so-
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Trey. Go ahead. Yeah.
Like he had forgotten to book the table. Like he told her that
Yeah,
he
because
did.
he's useless,
Yeah,
just
'cause
like
he's
she's
just-
saying.
It's just a screw up.
Yeah.
And so he calls and he's like, "Oh, can I get a table for two?" And the guy's like, sorry, I just gave away the last table." So he calls her and he wants to like reschedule. And she's like, "You didn't book the table, did you?" He's like, "You want to go to the Winchester?" And she like freaks out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she says she doesn't want to end up like one of these people that are
Just
just
goes to
drinking
the
in the
Winchester.
pub every night, and they have no lives to show for it, looking back wondering what the hell happened to her life.
Yeah.
And she says, and that's when she breaks up with him in the pub, because she says, if I don't do something about it, I'm just going to end up like one of these people. And he says, what do you mean do something about it? And then it's him standing outside her apartment.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's in
in
the
the rain.
apartment when she breaks up with him. Yeah, and he's like standing there all dejected with the flowers that were for his mother. And I love how he can't lie in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he says a lie, and the
Yeah.
person immediately calls him out on it or looks mad at him, and he's like, "That's not true. I shouldn't have said that." Like
Sorry.
immediately. But
Yeah.
he turns around. He's holding the flowers that he had got for his mother that he tried to give to her to smooth it over, and she's looking at the flowers, and it says "World's Greatest Mom" on it.
Yes.
And he's
Yeah.
like, "You got these for your mother," and he tries to say like, "Oh no, that was a joke because yesterday you said that like I need to grow up and you have to act like your mom." She's like, "That's a lie, isn't it?" Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie.
So they break up and she sends him out the door, and when he goes to turn around to walk away, it just starts pouring. And he's just like, "Oh, come on."
So that's when Ed convinces him to go to the pub, the Winchester, and they get really drunk. And it's funny that it's called the Winchester because the gun that's used in Dawn of the Dead to kill the zombies is the Winchester, like
Yeah,
the
in the
life.
2 Dawn of the Dead movies.
Yeah,
Gosh,
so
It's
that's
the
like
same
it's like
style.
another homage that they're paying to Dawn of the Dead. And so then they basically they're at this pub and they get shit faced and they go
Yeah.
back to their apartment and they're like they have like a giant stereo. They're like rapping and listening to
See,
music
that's
really
one of the
loud.
funniest
And
parts of the movie.
their other
Yeah.
roommate comes down and he's like, "What is wrong with you? Get your life together." And he like hates Ed. He's like, "This one keeps dragging you down." And he's like pointing at Ed, and Ed's like, "What did I do?" Like,
Such
The
a
whole time,
prick.
Ed is like just flipping him off, calling him a twat. Like this is like completely so like assured of himself that I'm awesome, you're the dick. Like you're
Yeah, and
you're
then
the
he-
problem.
he tells him
And
he's
he's a
like,
small-time drug dealer. Did you catch that?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
There's
he
2 phone
contributes.
calls. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 2 phone calls in the movie that he gets on his cell phone, and both of them are somebody looking for weed
Yeah.
and him telling him he doesn't have any.
It's like-
But one part that we skipped over when they're in the Winchester and they're drinking and he's trying to cheer him up about Liz breaking up with him,
Yeah.
he lays out the movie
Oh yeah.
in the plan for tomorrow in the drinks that they're gonna have. He's like, we get up, Bloody Marys, and there's Mary in the backyard of their house, and like there's different things like that that he mentions throughout that speech that happen in the course of their. And he's like, yeah, and then we'll stumble back to the Winchester for shots, and
Yes.
that's when they're like pretending to be zombies stumbling to the Winchester, and then there's shots, and it's the gun like shooting all around the Winchester.
Oh my gosh, I didn't pick up on that. That's brilliant. I wanted to
Yeah.
share that scene though when they're at the Winchester and the jukebox it's really just a subtle funny joke, but it starts playing "If You Leave Me Now, You Take the
Take
Biggest
away
Take
away the biggest part of me. Who
Who
put this on?
Yes,
It's on random.
so random. It's Chicago. And as they're leaving, that's when he shuts down the bar. He calls to the barkeep and he's like, please shut it down. And they close all the things up and they go shots and they're just kind of them and some of the other patrons. But as they're leaving and they're wasted,
They start singing it.
they start singing again. And I wanted to share my screen so we can have some content here to post with this. The scene where he comes out, where on earth is this? Oh, here, I know what to do. Sorry, guys. They come out and they start singing, and that's when you start kind of noticing something's off, because there's even like
Mhm.
a guy comes up to the window and they're
The
like,
window.
we're closed, and he like really creepily like that hand on top of the
Yeah.
window just like
Yeah,
dragging.
he does that, and then he goes, and then Ed goes, "Oh, he's pissed,"
Oh,
like
he's-
which in
Yes.
England means he's pissed drunk.
Yeah, here I wanted to share this with you. So they come out and they start singing. They're singing Duran Duran, White Lines.
White lines.
Watch the couple in the back there.
Mhm.
My mind, and all the while I think of you.
Oh, that's right. I haven't had your tea.
Yeah, she's totally eating him.
Telling my body to come along, 'cause white lines blow away. Shush. Blow. Get higher, baby.
And then this part, this is so
Get high,
iconic.
baby.
Yeah.
Get higher, girl.
What's he do? Just say bass or freeze. What a tip.
What a
What
tit.
a tit. You can say bass or freeze. It's just
Yeah.
that's how you get that
And
great
so
moment.
when they in the big rant, like Peter's like, "Oh, you keep him around because he's a bigger loser than you are," and then he's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Nothing. I have a headache. Some crackhead bit me after he
Yeah.
mugged me on the way home," and he's like, "I'll feel better once I shower and sleep." And the big thing that they keep doing that Pete keeps berating him for is they leave the front door open. He's like, "The fucking door is open!" Like, And so they wake up in the morning and, he does the whole scene where it's the big long shot again of him walking to the corner store. And like
Yeah.
Tyler mentioned earlier, like the world's gone to shit. Like the guy that was washing his car, the windshield's busted.
It's
walks
got
by
like
like
a person's head shape
Yeah.
through the windshield and pulled out again.
And he walks like by the area where the guy was gardening in his front yard and he's dead on the floor and like
Yeah.
all this stuff.
And that's
then
when the
he-
dude goes sprinting by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like super fast.
And so he like trips on the same curb and like does everything. And they get home and they're sitting down and they, drink their Coke or whatever. And they notice that there's somebody in the backyard and it's Mary, the girl from the grocery store.
That's it.
Before that, when he walks to work the first time, there's like the bum guy that has the dog on the leash.
Oh yeah.
And he holds his hand out and he reaches in his pocket, gives him a bunch of spare change.
Yeah.
But when he goes the second time, he goes to grab the Coke. He exchanges it for a Diet Coke because he's turning his life around now.
Yeah.
And he goes to leave Nelson, the shopkeep, money on the thing. And there's like Hindu music playing. It might be the first time he goes, but there's like Hindu music playing in the background. And apparently when it cuts, it goes to like a news broadcast. And what the news broadcast says is like, there's been a zombie outbreak or there's been an outbreak of the dead coming back to life and attacking people, but it's in Hindi, so you can't understand what it is.
It's
But yeah, he asks him for the paper. And then he's like, I owe you 15 pence or whatever.
Yeah,
He doesn't have enough change to buy what he's getting. And he leaves. And when he's walking across the street, the freaking zombie guy with the dog leash with no dog in the collar that's just dragging on the ground is like, he goes, sorry, man, I don't have any change for you. I didn't even have enough for the shop.
Yeah.
And he goes inside like he's completely oblivious to the world around him.
That
then
scene though, when they get back and he gets back to his house, he sits down and he's like, just thinks it's just a normal, kind of day. And it's
That's when he's
Ed's,
flipping channels.
Yeah, it's Nick Frost's delivery as Ed that just makes it hilarious. He's standing in the window and he has like the curtain kind of around his whole body.
It's just draped over his back.
It's just straight over, and he goes, "There's a girl in the garden." And Nick is like, "What?" And Nick goes, "In the garden, there's a girl." And that's where we get our first encounter of a zombie
With Mary.
with Mary, and that's
she's drunk.
Yeah. What is it?
They think she's drunk.
Yeah.
They think
Yes.
she's pissed drunk, so they're playing it off like as a joke. Like
Yeah.
he like grabs her and then she like falls on top of him and he's like, "Oh, look out, Shaun." Like and he like grabs her jaw. He's like, "Take a picture." And
Takes her
the
camera.
Dude, she like attacks him and he falls over and Ed goes, the first one of the moments where you're like, God, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
He goes, just 1 minute. And he goes inside and he's like, Ed, help me, get her off me. And he's like, I'll be right 1 second. And he comes back out, he snaps the picture, like, dude, get this chick off of me, man.
So she gets up and then he like pushes her to get him off him.
Yeah.
And she falls into like a piece of rebar that's sticking out of the ground.
It's like a
the
pipe.
base of a tetherball.
Yeah, the base of
yeah.
a tetherball cord, and gets up off of the base after it impales her stomach and she has a hole.
Yeah.
And you could see them through her back.
Yeah,
You
and
see
that's
both
when
of
they
their
realize,
faces.
That's when they realize, like, uh-oh.
Something's not
And he
right.
goes, what's wrong with her eyes?
And then Ed slowly winds his camera
one of the
again
best
to take
jokes,
another
he starts
photo.
winding it and he slaps it out of his hands like, you idiot.
Yeah.
So
And that's when
kids,
they
a
go
disposable
inside and-
camera.
Yeah,
we,
for real.
we might
That's
have to
like when they
explain
go
what that
inside
is.
and they actually hear, like, oh, the you can separate the head from the body or you can destroy the brain. And
Destroy
that's
the
also
brain.
in Shaun of the Dead, because that's how they teach them in Shaun of the Dead how to kill the zombie.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, sorry, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn.
And
yeah.
so then they go out to like basically finish Mary and they run into another
Whoa.
one of their neighbors.
Yeah, they got the big fat dude in their backyard.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so they're throwing household appliances at him. Like Shaun throws a toaster at the guy. And the funniest gag to me is they're sitting there deciding what records to throw at them. And he's like,
It's,
Purple Haze? Hell no.
Yes.
He's like, Batman soundtrack. And he's like,
throw it.
Chuck it. Well, they go out and when they first start throwing things at Mary to get her to stop chasing them, he picks up the electro record that the roommate Pete had thrown out the window the night before,
Yeah.
and he throws it at her and it hits her in the head and she kind of stumbles back, and then they're like,
Oh.
So they run inside, they're back out with the crate of records, and he's like, they're arguing over like, but that's my favorite. That's an original pressing. Like,
Yes.
dude, this chick is trying to kill you, and you
Yeah.
guys are worried about the records that you're throwing. And
And then-
there's a shed in the backyard that's been locked since they moved in, and nobody has ever gone in there to check it out. It's so ridiculous.
And they get a cricket bat and
A shovel.
A
what is
shovel.
it? And a
Yeah.
shovel. And
they
so they
decide-
basically wail on these two zombies until they die, and then they go inside and they hear that like the way that it's transmitted is through bites, and they're both like, they look up.
Yeah.
'Cause they
'cause
remember
Pete
that
got bit
that
by the
somebody
crackhead.
bit him. So they go into the shower, and then Pete is just standing there like naked, like dead.
I love
Yeah.
how they do it where they're standing at the bottom of the stairs because they don't want to go upstairs if he's up there all zombified. And he's like, Pete?
Yeah.
You up there, Pete?
Pete.
Pete? And he's like,
You're
let's just go up
right.
there and check. And he's like, no, what if he's up there? He could still be annoyed. And then he's like, and then he goes, oi, prick, you up there? And they both look at each other like, he's not up there.
He's not there. He must have left.
But
Yeah.
so Shaun starts to get ready to like they're gonna go save his mom and Liz. They start making the plan of what
Yeah.
they're gonna do.
And
They're gonna-
that's when it like flash forwards and you see all the like, we're gonna do this to
Yeah.
this to this.
It's
And
kind
he's
of
like,
a
but what
Guy
about this?
Ritchie,
And you
yeah.
have to like
Yeah,
freak
well,
out.
basically what they were doing, and they do it a couple of times in the movie where it's like in Commando and stuff like that, when it's the montages of them like suiting up and like putting on the things and
Yeah.
grabbing all the guns. It's like
yeah.
he like puts on his little tie and puts on his name tag and
Name
he's
tag.
brushing his teeth, like all this mundane stuff. And that's when he's upstairs and he like takes the name tag off and sets it on the sink, and you notice Pete is in the shower right next to him through the curtain, and then he opens the curtain and then he's like, oh god, I'm so sorry. He like closes the curtain back.
they never
I mean,
kill
how quickly
Pete.
that
They
he's just
just, like,
trying
leave
to.
him.
Yeah, they don't.
just
They
leave
don't
him
kill.
there.
Yeah, just leave him. Yeah.
They close him in. But the guy that in the first time he goes walking to the shop, there's the dude in like the wedding suit. Like he looks like he's gonna be a
Yeah.
groomsman or he's
Yeah.
the groom in a wedding. And then he comes in the front door
They left
of the
front
house and he's
door
got no
open.
arm, and he's like, his arm's off, and they end up hitting him in the head with the ashtray on the table. and he's like, oh, look at his head. Well, that guy has no arm in real life, and in the shop he had a fake arm on for that scene, and then they just took his fake arm off for the scene where he has no arm.
I think it's great though how like so the whole time that they're trying to make these plans, are like, okay, first we're gonna go get mom and Philip. Like they're like begrudgingly like,
They're gonna
fine.
take. Well, they had called the mother, and she said that Philip had been bitten.
Right. So they're gonna
Like,
go get
that
him.
the people were a bit bitey, so they're like, okay, so we're gonna go grab mom, kill Philip,
Get Liz.
get Liz, and where are we gonna go after that? We'll
Have a
stay at
cup of
Liz's.
tea. Yes.
No, we can't stay at Liz's. Why? I need to be somewhere where I'm comfortable, where I know where all the exits are, where there's food, and I can smoke.
Yeah.
Where are you
Pub?
gonna be able to do that? And he's
The
like,
pub.
the Winchester.
I love it though that
Okay,
Ed's
and it goes back to the
relationship
beginning. We're
Yeah.
gonna grab the car. We're gonna
Kill
go
Philip.
get mom, take care of Philip, get Liz, go to the Winchester, have a pint, wait for this all to blow over.
Yeah, and they're
All
all
of
like
this to
smiling,
blow
like cheersing
over.
beers and
Yeah.
stuff in the background.
I just love I love Ed's relationship to his mom, because every time they do one of these scenarios, Ed is always like they're running out of the building like laughing, holding hands, and Ed's always holding Barbara's hands, and how she's on the phone with him. She goes he's like telling Shaun is telling mom, like, be safe, stay in store, like lock your doors, do this other thing. We're coming to get you. We're coming to rescue you. And Ed just chimes in, we're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
that's like a
that's,
throwback to a movie.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
To I think it's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, really?
And
the guy in that movie is like mocking somebody named Barbara.
when they were when they had originally released this movie, they gave a private screening to George A. Romero and in Florida near his home, and it was just him and a security guard. He watched the whole movie, and he loved it so much that he made Nick Frost, Simon Pegg, I think it was all three, and what's the writer's name again?
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
At least Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg for sure were zombies in Land of the Dead or something, his next movie.
Oh, no way.
As like a little throw to them. But that reference of "We're coming to get you, Barbara" was so subtle that he didn't even
Oh,
catch it until he was on a phone
right.
call with them later, and they brought it up.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I've
how-
heard that sound clip before. It's "We're coming to get you, Barbara,"
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
coming for
really
you,
creepy.
Barbara.
Yes, it's
Like,
very.
yeah.
But I need to go and watch. So that was Day of the Dead with Romero,
that's-
where they
Yeah.
were
I
zombies
think so,
in.
yeah.
I gotta find
I
that.
think-
I'm gonna find
There's
Is
that.
it
Dawn of
Day
the
or
Dead,
Dawn?
and there's Day of the Dead,
I'll just
and there's like
find.
Night of the
I
Living
mix them
Dead.
all up all the time.
Yeah, let me just. I'll just
And
look
there's
up
Land of
Nick
the Dead.
Frost.
Is Night of the Living Dead the one where they're in the mall?
I don't know.
I
There's
think Day
Evil
of the
Dead.
Dead is
There's
where
so
they're in
many.
the mall, which I liked. I like that one. That one's really interesting. But continue.
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna try to find an
But
image of them.
it's cool how they in this movie with the like stuff happening in the background that people don't are oblivious to. It's
Yeah.
very similar to like Invasion of the Body Snatchers when there's weird stuff happening in the background and the main characters are just completely oblivious to the fact that this is all happening. And like, hello, like hello.
Well, the best part is they finally get to Shaun's mom's house and Ed crashes the car, so they
Oh,
can't use
well,
the car anymore.
Yeah, they pull up in the car and he sees like, I didn't know Barbara had a Jag. And he says, she doesn't. It's Phillips. And he's like, I've always wanted to drive a Jag. And he said, he'll never let you touch it. One time I left a candy bar in the glove box in the glove box, and he
Yeah.
chased me around the yard with a bit of wood. And so he says, oh, okay, why don't you go in and you grab him, and I'll stay out here in the car. And he's like, what? Why? And he's like, I'll keep it running, and if there's any trouble, I'll do honk 3 times. So they go in, and he has like this whole funny scene with his mother and with Philip, and Philip's bit, and he's got his
You
arm in
think
a
he's-
sling.
And you think he's dead, like
Yeah,
when he
at
first
first.
walks in, because he's sitting in the recliner, and he's
Mhm.
like about to bash his head with the cricket bat, and he's like, Shaun, like, and he
Yeah.
turns around.
He goes, I'm sorry, Philip. And he's like, why? What did you do now? And then after this whole exchange with them, they go back outside, and Shaun walks right up to Ed, and they're pretty close together. And he's like, they have a conversation about what they're going to do. And he's like, what about, like, why is Philip here? Because, part of the plan was to
The
take
bit.
out Philip.
Yeah.
And he says, it's a long story. It's complicated. And he's like, but let's go. Where's the car? And he steps to the side. He says, bit of a problem. He's like, what? You were parked. And he's like, yeah. Guess we'll have to take the Jag.
That's again
And
just
he
another
gets
moment
to
of like,
drive,
you
which
piece
is like
of
his favorite
crap,
part.
dude.
Is like he gets to drive the
Yeah.
Jag.
He's
Yeah.
such a
And
piece
then
of shit the whole
As they're
time.
driving, Philip basically tells him how he was like too hard on him as a kid, and like that he's actually proud of him, and like
Yeah, right
he
before they
calls
get
him-
in the Jag, though, like the same group of kids that are like walking down the alley in the opening montage show up in the driveway, and one of them bites a big hole in Philip's neck, and now he's like bleeding from his neck, and it's pretty obvious that even if you don't know about the zombie stuff, like he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, that's
But they
hard.
get him in the car.
It's hard to come back from that. Yeah.
Yeah, they get him in the car, and they're gonna go pick up Liz. Or did
Yeah.
they already have? Yeah, they go pick up Liz.
No, they're gonna
'Cause
go
that's
get
the plan.
Liz. Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
plan.
that's the
They gotta
plan.
pick up Mom, kill Philip, go pick up Liz.
Stick to the plan. Mark.
stick to the plan. Stick to the plan.
plan. So yeah, they go and they pick Liz and her 2 roommates up. The douchiest douchebag in the whole movie, David, her
David.
roommate, who's obviously in love with
man.
her from the moment you meet him.
Yeah.
And they have the funny scene where he climbs up the wall like he couldn't do in the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie.
He couldn't climb up the garden gate.
Yeah. And then they go outside, and you notice when they're running to the car, because for some reason Ed has now driven the Jag all around the block instead of just hanging out. Simon Pegg, as Shaun, is hitting everybody with the cricket bat, and even though everybody has blunt objects, he's the only one hitting people, and it's because that was the only like rubber weapon, and everybody else's were real, so they couldn't actually hit people with theirs. But they
Meanwhile,
get in the car. Yeah, they get in the car.
Yeah.
And they take off to head to the Winchester, and Ed is blaring rock music, and they're all yelling at him to turn the music off, and he's like bitching, like, why?
Yeah.
And then
Everyone else
that's
is
when
such a
Trey was talking
downer.
about Philip turns to Shaun and he says, Shaun, it's not easy being a dad. And he's like, what? Yeah, I know, Philip. And he's like, no, Shaun, listen to me. I knew your dad wasn't going to be around, and I just wanted you to be a good man, and I always knew you would be, and you could succeed if you had the right man to look up to. And I thought that man could be me. And they have this huge, heartwarming moment, and then he dies right there in front of him. And he's like, Ed, stop the car. And he's like, oh, just give me a second. He's like,
Yeah.
Ed, stop the car. And he's like, oh, why? He's like, Ed, stop the fucking car. And he freaking like does like a tail whip through the like it just such a jackass.
Yeah.
Such a jackass. And
Ed's gonna
then-
do what he's gonna do.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
they have the whole scene where now he's like, Mom, I'm sorry, Philip's gone. And she's like, no, he's not. He's right there. And he says, no, he's dead. And she's like, no, he's not. And then it looks over and he's like, with the foggy eyes like the zombies have. And they go to get out of the car and the child locks are on and they're freaking out. And of course, Ed goes to get out of the car, hits the music, and now the freaking rock music is blaring like crazy. And Liz has to come back and open the door. Ed's standing right there.
Yeah.
And he's just going to let them die.
Yes.
And she has to rip the door open and let them out.
Yeah.
And then this is where they run into Yvonne. His
Oh wait. It's one of the best bits of it where
yeah, go ahead.
So Shaun is like his mother's like, you have to get Philip, we have to get him out. We have to, I was like, no, Mom, you don't understand. That's not your husband anymore. And she's like arguing again, and he's like, no, you need to know there's nothing left of Philip in there. That's not Philip. And Philip in the background is like a zombie, and he's and the rock music is still playing, and you just hear him, and then you see his hand kind of like drift around, and then it hits the stop button for the music, and you see just this subtle release of like tension in his face, where he's like,
even as a zombie,
zombie, he's like,
well, maybe there's like the slightest bit, or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, let's go, shall we? They start turning and running, and that's where they go down this alleyway, and they have this great interaction with, okay, so here's how this group, which is a lot of tropes of like, okay, it's the boyfriend and the girlfriend, it's the
it's
the best
basically
friends,
a mirror of their group.
Yes, and then they get met with the opposite of them, but the more successful group of them, and they tell them their plan. Yeah, and it's Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman is in the group, and it's so fun to see him in this. But I love that they just pull this nod, how they're like, okay, there's we all have our tropes, right? We all have our groups. We're just more successful than you, because they tell them their plan. We're going to the Winchester, and the woman who is Yvonne,
Shaun,
Shaun and Yvonne, and they're Shaun, exactly. And she's like, the pub. He's like, yeah, that's about the gist of it. She's like, well, good luck then. All right.
Yeah. And apparently the
like,
shirt that Ed is wearing says "I got wood." The whole movie, and so apparently they had come up with a bunch of different slogans, but they were too raunchy to get past the censors, because you see it so much during the movie that when he's passing their version of Ed, that Ed is wearing the shirt, and I forgot to look at it every time, but it says like the slogan that was too raunchy.
I would try to see if I can find it.
Time.
You can keep going. I'll try to see if I can find it here. I'm actually at that scene. Well, that's where we get the iconic. The next scene you're talking about, we get the iconic. What, you've never taken a shortcut before? That then is repetitive. They're like, we just
in the whole Cornetto trilogy.
Yes, which is
they have to jump through the gates, and they always like fall over. Well, in Hot Fuzz, Shaun can jump the gates like no problem, because he's like this super cop, and then Ed's character in Hot Fuzz tries to do it.
So
he's constantly slamming into
in Hot Fuzz, the Simon Pegg's character is literally like trampolining over the gates, doing like these like
flips
kicks and flips, and when Nick Frost's character goes to do it, he just plows right through the first one. Like, doesn't even try to jump, just like trips and like takes the whole gate out. But in this one, Shaun goes to jump the first gate, and it collapses underneath him as he's like vaulting over it.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
he just turns around. He's like, "Well, let's keep it going."
Yeah.
I
And
got
so
I
they
got
get to
hold on.
the
I just discovered something that I've seen this movie so many times. So the guy who's playing the Ed of the successful group, this character's name is Cousin Tom. And I was like, dude, that guy looks so familiar. It is played by Matt Lucas, who, if you don't know him, you might not remember him from stuff, but like he's been in some pretty popular things. But Matt Lucas, him and another guy, they had a show called Little Britain, and it is one of the raunchiest, most like completely off the wall. Like, I don't understand how this even got made. Like, it's hilarious. I'll send you guys some clips. I'll post it. But it's Matt Lucas. So anyone listening, if you know Matt Lucas, he's usually bald. I think he has alopecia. Where is that's where all your hair falls out? Is that correct?
that's the and that's
Yeah.
the guy in Bridesmaids, right?
Yes, that's the roommate in Bridesmaids. And he was Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the live action Alice in
Creepy
Wonderland
Alice in
one.
Wonderland.
Yeah, the Tim Burton one, which I didn't really like. But yeah, so that's him. That's Cousin Tom, who's played the opposite of Nick Frost in that scene. So he's Cousin
That's
Tom.
funny.
That's hilarious, dude. I'll send you some of his clips because these Little Britain definitely could not be made now in its current climate. It's
Me and
amazing.
Jermaine, batting around back at the school, near babies.
Yeah, on BFs.
They play like not just they play like stereotypical, I think, Japanese women in this show, and it's really quite like it's offensive. Like, he also plays this character who pretends to be a paraplegic, like kind of like an autistic paraplegic, but then every time his caregiver turns around, like, he just immediately gets up and runs and does whatever he wants to do, and then before he turns back around, he comes and he gets back in his wheelchair. And it's funny, it is, but it's also like, dude, like, there was no boundaries. It definitely could have been maintained. So sorry, we can keep going. So they met that group, and they're on to the Winchester with the fences and jumping over them,
And now they're at the scene where
hilarious.
you're like looking at the distance between them and the Winchester, and it's just infested with zombies.
There's so many funny moments in between where the mother says, "Oh, I think Joe and Barbara are, those aren't
Yeah.
their names, but
Yeah.
some friends of theirs live in this house." And the guy comes to the window in his pajamas, but he's obviously a zombie, and he's like against the window. And then it cuts to them all running through the yards, and he says, "Are we all here?" And he says, "Yeah, we're all here." And then he's
1,
like,
2, 3, 4, 5.
There's only 5. She's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "There's 6 of us." And then they go back and they grab the mother, and she's like, "Oh, sorry." And they have to fight off the guy in the pajamas. And they throw him the tetherball pole
Oh yeah.
with the tetherball attached to it, and he's like, "Right." And starts like spinning the tetherball. When he goes to hit him with it, the string snaps and the ball just flies against the house. And then he's just standing there like, "What do I do?" And they're like, "Stab him with it, like hit him with it." And he's like, "Oh,
gets
right."
into the tree.
Yeah, he impales him to the tree.
None of them are any use.
They're so stupid.
It's awful.
When this
They're
is
so
where
stupid.
the failed actor has to teach them how to act like zombies. so that
One
they
of my
can get
favorite
the
one of my
Winchester.
favorite jokes of the movie, but right before she teaches them how to be zombies, is he goes, "All right, now the Winchester is just beyond this fence. I'm gonna take a look and see what we're dealing with." And they're like, "Okay." And there's like a children's slide, and he climbs the little ladder like da 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 da, and he looks over the fence, and it's just like
It's just
the
his feet.
shot of where they were, so it's just his feet there, and then he goes da 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 da, and they're like, "Well, how does it look?" And he's like, no. And they're like,
Bad.
and he's like, they're like, "How many?" He goes, "Lots."
Lots.
And then it pans up, and the whole street between them and the Winchester is just covered in zombies. And then she starts teaching them how to be a zombie to
Yeah.
get across the street.
And now
And
So this is where
I
Tyler
want to
probably loses
punch.
his shit in
I
it.
want to punch Ed in his face so hard
Yeah, 'cause
when she's like, "Okay, let's see it," and Liz is like, she's all right, not bad, not bad. There's more pain in it, more pain, more sorrow, but like an empty sorrow, and all this stuff she's telling them. And then they do like a couple of them, and the the prick the
David.
roommate guy is like
David.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're like, no, like your life depends on you doing this, and they go, okay, Ed, now you, and he goes, I'll do it on the night, and they're like, this is the night, and he's like, all right.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, he's like, oh well, why don't you do it? Let me see what you got. And Sean's gives his impersonation.
Yeah.
And I love how Ed says, all right, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, it wins. See, now this is actually something that I've heard Max Brooks talk about in zombie film and what he would call zombie culture, which is the behavior of zombies and why, like, okay, if they're the slow ones, they're this. Which there's the argument with the 28 Days Later stuff where they say the 28 Days Later are not actually zombies. They're rage, like they're just infected with rage and testosterone, and that's why they're crazy. So this being zombies and zombies, is the idea is that apparently zombies, they always flock to places they loved or like they congregate, like they remember going to hopefully like feel like some kind of fulfillment. So that's why I think of the more successful group, they were like, oh, you're going to the pub, and without telling them, that's where everybody, like every one of these zombies, other people, that's where they're going. Like the pub is the central heart of this like little community. Every person you know or ever met is going to be there too, and that's exactly that's come, that they're surrounded. And the other part of it was that Max Brooks always says is like the perfect weapons are baseball bats, machetes, and what did he say? Anything like a shovel or something, anything that can put like distance between you and a zombie. And I was like, those make sense because those don't need to be reloaded. They don't require a lot of maintenance or anything. I mean, they're everywhere. Like they're probably more common than
They don't
what
get
you're gonna
stuck.
find. They don't get stuck. They don't get
Like, the
jammed.
problem with using like a hatchet or something like that is the hatchet can get stuck. and then
Yeah,
you
that's a
can't
good
pull it
point.
out. That happens a lot. Like in The Walking Dead, you see that. Like people that use certain weapons, like they swing and they kill a zombie, then they can't get the weapon out, and then they get bit. The only one in Walking Dead that, and the character's cool, so he gets away with it, is Norman Reedus' character Daryl. He uses a crossbow, and it's like, dude, where are you getting all these bolts?
Not only that, but you know how damn hard it is to pull back a crossbow bolt, like to cock a crossbow
Jeez,
back.
dude,
You
yeah.
have to like put it on the floor, stand on it, and use your body weight to pull that sucker
And this
back.
guy's
Dude,
firing
you
it
can't
like
just like, eh.
Yeah, this guy's firing it like it's an AK-47, just like
Rapid fire,
wait, time out.
I'm willing to suspend some belief, Daryl, but not that much. All right, you need to bring it
There's a
back to
couple
some
times-
reality.
There's a couple times in this movie where the zombies that are attacking them conveniently stop and wait for the plot to progress while they don't kill them on the spot.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
they have
that's
an
like-
argument.
This
that's
is
like
kind
this
of
part,
one of them
where
when
they get
first,
to the
they get outside the Winchester and the door's locked and he's like flipping the thing open like, hey, it's us. We're here all the time. We do the trivia night.
That's it. We do.
And that was like apparently a throwback to when Simon Pegg and Nick Frost would frequent this pub together all the time, and that was something they were known, like that pub was known for, was their trivia night, and they would always compete in it. But while they're having this argument, the zombies are closing in on them.
Yeah.
It happens again. Ed's phone rings, and he answers it about a drug deal.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, I don't have it. He's like, 2 minutes, and sits down on the freaking park bench, on the picnic table bench. And he's like this, like talking on the phone while the zombies are all closing in on them. And he's just hanging out, talking on the phone.
Yeah, dude,
and then
does not care.
Shaun slaps the phone out of his hand. And he's like, oh, mate, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, my gosh, man.
Yeah, and then he has to, and then basically they figure out David, the roommate, the goober roommate, in like a fit of rage breaks one of the windows, and that starts to draw the zombies to him. And basically Sean's like, I'm gonna have to draw them off, and he's just like, hey, zombies over here. And he starts, and that's one of those moments where the zombies like just conveniently like watch him run away. And they're like,
and they let him.
Okay,
Yeah.
that way. Cool.
Chris Martin from Coldplay is apparently one of those zombies outside the
that's pretty funny.
pub.
Well,
Like,
he also appears on the in one of the TV segments.
yeah, because
later in the movie.
they establish Zomb Aid.
Yeah, Zombade.
Yeah, and I'd love to know more about what that is, but yeah, dude, it's there's a couple of zombies in here that are pretty iconic, like the twin zombies. The two, they look kind of like biker twins, but like, yeah, they're like right. But there's this one, this he looked like maybe he's like 19, 20, like black kid who is in there, and he has just this great zombie face where it's like he's kind of staring really dead and his mouth's just kind of open, and it's amazing. He feels like iconic. When I think of a zombie, I think of that guy, and I think of those twins actually. Now I'm trying to study the scene and see if I can find Chris Martin in it, because that's hilarious, dude.
There's a scene where there's a bunch of probably like 7 or 8 zombies spread out, and there's one kind of in the background wearing black, and he trips over himself and falls down, and that's Edgar Wright, the director.
Oh, no way. That's amazing. I love little cameos and stuff like that. That's hilarious. It's such a great, dude, the contacts in the eyes, like the white, like the pupils and the frost over that
milky eyes.
Yes, is brilliant. That's such a great touch.
We didn't even touch how, like, when they first are in the pub after Liz breaks up with him and he's talking to him about the different people in the pub, and he talks about how the bartender is connected. Like, basically he's part of the mob, or he was in the mob.
Yeah.
And he says, like, well, and why do you think they have that? And it pans over, and there's the Winchester rifle hanging above the bar, and he says, because the pub's named the Winchester. He's like, exactly. Why do you think that is? He says, it's not real. He's like, yeah, it is. Big Al told me, or whatever. And
the cowboy boot guy.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, Big Al also says that dogs can't look up. When they go into the pub, and they're all freaking out about Shaun.
Yeah.
And then Shaun comes in the back door of the pub, and he's eating nuts. And they're like, what happened? And he's like, I ran him off. I came in the back door like I was trying to tell you about before you smashed the window. And he says, oh, what happened to him? Like, didn't they follow you? And he says, I gave him the slip.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave him the slip. Yeah. So they're hanging out in the dark, and there's no power to the pub. And he's I like when the prick David says, oh yeah, so you just came up with this plan with your little boyfriend? He's not my boyfriend. And right then Ed puts a pint down on the bar, and he says, here you go, it might be a little warm, the coolers are off.
Yeah.
He goes, thanks babe.
It's funny because you're talking about them talking about the Winchester, and the next thing that happens after Shaun gets back is the pub owner. You see him as a zombie, and he hits him with the butt. Shaun hits him with the butt of the rifle, and Ed's like, he's like, why don't you just shoot him? And Shaun's like, for the last time, it's not. And he pulls the trigger, the gun fires, and Ed's like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah. and then Shaun says, okay, it's real, but dogs can look up.
Yeah.
Because they have the whole funny scene where the power comes back on.
Oh, it's iconic,
and,
dude. Yeah.
Like out on the street, and he says, oh, the power's back. And he says, no, look, there's no power. And he says, the street lights are off. It's just the breakers. I'll go flip the breakers, and that way we can at least watch TV. And he goes in there, and he's checking. There's the back door, and he checks it, pulls on it, shakes it to make sure that like it's sturdy. And then he goes over and starts messing with the breakers, and he pops one on, and it gives power to part of the bar.
Yeah.
And then he pops the next one, and it turns the light on to his right, and there's another back door with a glass pane, and it's just packed full of zombies on the other side. And he looks over, he looks back at the breakers, and he clicks that one off, and then he goes and he pulls the shade down on the window, and then he goes back into the bar, and he's just looking like, oh. And if you notice too, when he's walking back out, the door that he shook is now shaking.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get through that too.
But as you're getting
he goes back in. Yeah, he goes back in, and when the owner comes out, the jukebox fires, and it's Queen,
Kill the queen.
Tonight,
Yeah.
gonna have myself a real good time.
And they
Have
don't they like
some
beat him
life.
to the beat of "Don't
Well,
Stop Me
yeah,
Now."
Yes.
You-
I'm
They
a rocket ship, I'm
he
a
throws
freedom
Liz
Mars.
and Ed pool cues, and then he jumps over the table, and they've all got the pool cues,
Yeah.
and they start whacking him to the beat of "Don't Stop Me Now." It's like
Don't
do do
stop
do
me
do 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 do
now.
do do do,
Yes.
and the
It's one of my
girl,
favorite songs.
the girl roommate, the failed actress, he's like, throw those darts at him, and she's throwing the darts, and she just sticks it right in his skull, into freaking Shaun's skull, and he's like, not me. But they end up killing him with the pool cues.
Yeah, they push him into the jukebox.
Yeah.
Actually, they shove his head
They
through it.
shove his
and
head into it.
That ends
And
the barkeep. The bar.
Then they
owner.
start having the whole. Then he does the whole thing where the gun works, and like
Yeah.
dogs can look up, and then he pulls the friggin' dart out of his head. And blood's like,
Man, I know it wasn't real, but even in that moment, I was like, "Oh, that!" Like, I don't know why I can feel that. I feel that and I
because
was like,
he points at it with the dart. Dogs can look up.
And then
Pulls
you
that
have
out
like
of his head.
the part where zombies are like starting to get in the bar, and
Yeah.
his mom gets bit.
Well, his mom was bit by the guy in the
She been bit. There's
Yeah,
some
she was bit-
bitness.
Oh, that's right.
by the
Yeah.
guy in the pajamas when they were in the backyards, and she didn't tell anybody because she didn't want to worry Shaun.
Yeah.
His mom is so cute, like the whole
She's so
time.
sweet.
And then basically they tell Shaun that he has to like shoot his own mother, and he's like,
Yeah.
I can't. And it's the David guy who like
Oh, that guy's
grabs
such a
the-
prick.
he
Oh my
grabs the
gosh.
gun and he's gonna like shoot Shaun, because that's when they're like, the only reason you're here is because you're obsessed with Liz, and he's like, I am not. And Diane's like, I've known that since the beginning.
Yeah. I came to terms with it when she pushed you to the back burner. I was there to pick up the pieces. I've come to peace with that. Why can't you?
Mm-hmm.
But there's that hilarious joke where Shaun smashes the bottle and holds the broken pieces to David's neck, and he's like, "Stop pointing the gun at my mom!"
Yeah.
And Ed smashes the bottle and holds it to his neck too, and he's like, "Don't point that gun at Barbara!"
Yes.
And then Diane says, "Oh, this isn't really fair." And he goes, "Oh, here," and hands her his broken bottle. And he goes and gets a corkscrew from behind the bar, and she holds hers at Shaun. Shaun's got his on David, and Ed's got the corkscrew to his neck. And then they have this whole argument about how she's going to come back and she's going to kill them all, and she needs to be killed so they don't die. And finally, Liz is like, "Can everybody just stop?" And like
Yes.
stands up and pushes the gun down, and they kind of like come to their senses. And Shaun ends up having to shoot his own mother in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when they busted through the door, like a minute earlier, or no, that's later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he shoots his own mother in the head, and then they have this whole conversation about like who's gonna do the shooting, and they say it should be Shaun, and they shoot some zombies coming through the windows, and they're doing like the whole, okay, they're back behind you, and he's like, "What? Where?" And then he's like, 6 o'clock. So he swings the gun around, and everybody gets behind him, and he's shooting at them, and he's missing like everything,
Yeah.
and then hits one of them like in the arm, and then he said that, like, they're coming through behind you, 11:45. He's like, "What?"
What?
He's
Keep it
like,
simple.
Yeah. And then Nick Frost, Ed's character, he says, "Top left," and he swings the gun around and shoots, and he's like, "Nice shot." That's a callback to the beginning of the movie when you first meet Ed, and he's sitting there playing video games, and Shaun leans down over the back of the couch. And
Yeah.
he's like, "You're like top left." And he like shoots, and he's like, "Nice shot." And, like, if there's these cool callbacks they do throughout the movie that are subtle like that that you don't pick up on.
But in the bar
But-
scene, you get the most gruesome death in this entire movie.
Yeah,
when
this-
they pulled David out of the window,
Yeah.
disemboweled David.
They rip him straight apart, dude, and
Yeah.
it was one of the harder ones
Yeah.
to watch because the rest of it, oh, it's a shot, it's a bull. This one was
Dude,
harsh.
Diane goes out the window with
Yeah.
his leg, like
Yes.
hitting the zombies with his
I'm coming,
his
David. Yeah.
severed leg. And apparently they released 2 comic books after the movie, and she didn't die.
Oh, she lives
She
through
Oh
that?
my
she
gosh.
goes out the window and she's beating them off, not beating them off, but beating them off.
Yeah.
And
That was the wrong one.
beating
That's
them
the
back,
wrong one.
beating them back. Yes, sorry for that. And she ended up climbing a tree and sitting in a tree, and she fell asleep in the tree, and she survives and lives, and she gets saved, and it says in the comic book that they're like Christmas card friends for the rest of their lives.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah, so the zombies are like pouring in now, and the door that Shaun had come through, where he knew that the zombies were like gonna break through over there, that door busts in, and Ed gets grabbed, and
Mhm.
it's their prick roommate that they left sitting in their house, and
It's
he's
Peter.
naked.
It's Pete.
It's Peter, yeah, Pete, and they're biting Ed, and they're all biting. He's like, "Get off him!"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I told you to leave him alone." And dead through the eye shoots Pete.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I love Ed's reaction because he's like, Shaun, look who it is.
Yeah. So happy, so stupid the
So
whole
they get
time.
behind the
Idiotic,
bar and
dude.
they pour like 151 all over the bar and light it on fire so the
Yeah, that'll
zombies
do it.
can't get to him. And the funny part about that is that
He's
it
like-
lights the spare box
Yeah.
of bullets on fire, and the box of bullets gets more headshots
Than Shaun
they
did.
the
Yes.
entire
The
movie.
entire time.
And I love how they Liz and Shaun. That's another one of the scenes where like the zombies conveniently stop,
Yeah.
where she's holding them back with a coat rack, and he's just standing there, and they're flooding in from behind him, and he's just standing there with the gun, and the whole thing goes down with Ed, and they're still right here, like all around him,
Yeah.
and he shoots Pete, and then she goes, "Shaun, bar," and they push the coat rack, and they dive over the bar together, and he's like, Ed, and then Ed's body like flops down behind the bar, and he's like, "What?" And he's bleeding like out of his neck. He's been bitten everywhere, and he's like, throw me a rag, would you?"
the way he just like dived like a sausage, like a giant
Just a stack of potatoes.
yes, or like a dolphin being like, chucked into the scene. The way he hits it, it's just what? Just it's so upset. It's
And then
so
they find
funny,
out
dude.
there's the cellar beneath the bar that they
Yeah.
can get to.
Which
And they're
would have been
down
great.
there, and then he's like, "Oh, trap door," and it's locked. And they're all coming to this slow realization, like, "Oh my god, we're gonna die in this bar."
Yeah.
And I like one of the lines that he turns to Liz, and he's like, "Liz, I don't think I have the stomach to shoot my mom, my girlfriend, and my best friend all in the same
I don't-
day."
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to shoot my mom, my flatmate, and my girlfriend all on the same day. And she says, "What makes you think I took you back?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Come on, you don't want to die single, do you?"
What is
And
Ed
Yeah,
on the
and
floor? What does he say?
he's just bleeding out.
Yeah.
Well, there's the part I think you're referring to, Matt, is they find that there's a lift. There's a keg lift.
Yeah.
And because he lights the match to have one last smoke, and in the light they can see the control for the lift, and they're going up, and he's like, "Ed, love you," and he's like, "Love you, Shaun." He's like, "Love you too, Ed," and Ed goes, "Gay."
Yeah, earlier in the movie he says he's like, "Love you, Ed," and he goes, "Gay," and then and he keeps doing the thing where he farts.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
it
"Sorry,
smells really
Shaun,"
bad.
and
He's like, "I'll stop doing it."
what? I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing.
That's it. It's
But,
so subtle though, because he's like, "I'm sorry, Shaun," and he's like, "For what?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I'm sorry,
I'm sorry,
Shaun." And then it hits him, and he's like,
Oh,
"Oh, it's
oh.
awful. It's not funny."
It's rancid. But,
I imagine so. Nick Frost's diet. I imagine
Yeah.
it's pretty rancid, dude.
the beer farts.
Yeah.
But when Liz and Shaun are having this whole conversation about, how Shaun feels like a failure, and she's like, "No, at least you tried. You did something. Like that's something. Like you tried to save us." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." And they talk about how they only have 2 bullets left, and I do you, and then
Yeah.
ah,
Me. And,
yeah. and he's like, "But what about Ed?" And Ed's like, "It's all right. I don't mind being eaten."
That's it. That's the part
And
I was
then-
talking about. Yeah.
They keep talking a little longer, and then he says, "Changed my mind. Maybe shoot me in the head."
actually, it changes shoot me
Yeah.
because they're having a heart-to-heart moment. He's just
Yeah.
like not there for it. He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm done
And
with
they
it.
do the joke that Trey was talking about where they start going up the lift and Liz says, "Bye, Ed. I love you." And he goes, "Cheers." And then Shaun
Sean's
says,
like,
"Love you too, Ed." And he goes, "Gay." And they come out of the lift and there's just zombies everywhere and he has an axe and she has a chain.
Yeah,
And
worst.
they're like looking back down the thing at Ed. And they make the little step out and he goes, "All right, you ready?" She goes, "Yep." And he brings the axe up and she starts to swing the chain and all of a sudden lights kick in and this big truck starts running zombies over it. It's like brutal. Like this huge truck is like
Means
crushing these
business.
zombies and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And then like the military gets out and he's like, "Alpha 1," and they all get down on one knee and man, they waste so much ammo shooting at these zombies. Like, you destroy the head. They said on the news, for crying out loud, shoot them in the head.
Yeah, dude. Be
but
more
it's,
precise because this is just it's spraying the
Yeah.
whole and it's like 10 or 15 guys and they're all just spraying, dude. But
and
that's
then
actually where we
once they
get
stop shooting, they start hitting them with their rifles.
yeah. That's actually where we get when they come up out of the the scene is they come up out of the storage and it's in the middle of the sidewalk. They have those like in New York and stuff. But that's actually where Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay. is. He is
Oh, he's one of the zombies.
Yeah,
there.
when they first kind of pan out and they show the street is like flooded with zombies and there's a fire going on, he is in the far right corner and I'll post a pic of it. He's in the far right corner and he's doing a great zombie. Like he looks it's good, you know, because I don't know, I feel like that's always a risk where you're like, oh, let's invite like our famous friends who do this, like they're not actors but they do this stuff and they're like they'll be down for it. It'll be really neat to, like as a cameo, and then you might get them on set and you're gonna like, oh, this was a mistake. They have no camera presence at all. This is like asking
Have you seen
a Kardashian
Have you seen
to do
Modern
something.
Family?
Yes, love Modern Family. Yes.
Have you seen the one with Chris Martin?
No. Which one?
There's an episode where Phil is selling Chris Martin a house as Chris Martin, like he's playing himself.
Oh, okay, so it's Chris.
But he is hysterically funny in this episode where he's like, you know, I need, because Phil's having like some stomach pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you know, you're reminding me, like, I just need to be a simple man. I have to go back to writing songs. You know, I write songs about things that I know. The last song I wrote was about my helicopter. and then Phil collapses and passes out from the pain in his stomach.
Yeah.
And he wakes up in the hospital and the doctor says like, "Oh, you had the worst swollen testicle I've ever seen. It was like the size of a grapefruit or something like that."
Oh my
And he's like,
God.
"Oh man." And then he goes, "Oh gosh, how did I get here? I hope Chris Martin isn't here." And then he's like, "Hey Phil," and he's like right there. And then like all the people like are coming because Chris Martin from Coldplay is there. And he starts singing a song about like he's like, oh, like a dumpy house and like all this stuff. It's hilarious. You gotta watch that episode.
Modern Family. I need to look that up with that. So
yeah. It feels like Claire comes, his wife, and he's like, what can I do for you? And she brought her book club because Martin was going to be there, and it's like all these people, and he has a huge like swollen testicle, and like he's so embarrassed, and she's like, "What can I do for you, Phil? What can I how can I help you feel better?" And he says, "I want Chris Martin to leave."
And so that's season 9, episode 8. Season 9, episode 8 is called Brushes with Celebrity. So that's
so funny.
Go check it out. You're welcome, listeners.
But yeah, that's when Yvonne comes out, and she had told them that
hit the army.
yeah, because she went where it was smart, and she was like the smarter version of Shaun, and she like said like, "Oh, I thought you guys could use some help. Is it just the two of you then?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she goes like, gets all like, "Oh," and she goes, Well, at least some people made it.
Without saying it, obviously her whole group was fine. Like her
Yeah,
whole
even their Ed is fine.
whole
Yeah, even
group
their Ed
is
good.
fine. Yeah, and they're all dead. So yeah, it does a great kind of like wrap up where it's like, oh, like they start turning it into like, this is how this person survived. There's like news clips and this television shows, and then they do
The
they
kid
keep
who
it a
had to
comedy.
kill his whole family who turned.
Yeah. But they do a great job of how like they keep it a comedy, because then like they've realized, oh, these zombies still fulfill a role. They can be like civil servants. They can do like
great in the
really
service industry.
Yes, service remedial kind of work. And then one of them is then there's like, it's like a game show, and there's zombies on a
where they're
slip and
competing
slide
with each other.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they put meat at the end, and they're like
and
on tethers.
And they're just, I mean, and it's like, yeah, that's probably what we would do as a society if this was
Have
the
you ever
case.
played the game Dead Rising 2?
What is it?
It's called Dead Rising. Have you ever played that game?
No, I don't
It's
think
where
I
they're in
have.
the mall, right?
Yeah, so the first one you're this photographer in a mall, and then the second one you're like this disgraced like motocross rider that gets caught in there. And they have like a treatment for zombie bites. It's called Zombrex. It's like an injection that stops you from turning. And the guy's daughter has been turned, so he's, trying to get all this medicine so that she'll be okay. And like the game show that he goes on to win money is them driving motorcycles with chainsaws attached to the side as they release hordes of zombies into this, basically like a half pipe. And you're like driving around, seeing how many zombies you can kill.
That sounds
Like
amazing.
we would for sure monetize it and turn it into a game show. Like it'd be like, yeah, we'd call it something snappy, like who's gonna kill the most or something like that.
That's
Like,
it. Yes.
make the dead dead again or something.
Oh
Win,
my
lose, or
gosh.
zombify.
Yeah.
So
But my favorite part of the end of the movie is that he goes into his shed to play video games, and you hear him like, "Stop! You're being a sore loser." And it cuts, and it's Ed as a zombie, and he's chained to his wall, and he's got like a collar on.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he's like, "Stop!" And he hands him the controller, and Ed's like,
yeah. like kind of like mashing the button a little bit.
Well, when they're showing all those clips of what they do with the zombies now, how they have them chained as the shopping cart returners at the supermarket, and then they're on the game show.
Yes.
And then the one woman's talking about how, I know he's a zombie, but he's my husband. I still love him. I'm still wearing the ring.
Still got that
and
ring.
The host is like, do you go to bed with it? And then it cuts out, and it's the same scene from the beginning when Shaun like walks into the opening of the living room.
Yeah.
Like he's a zombie, like his footsteps are all weird, and then he like
big yawn. Yeah.
and it's a yawn like in the beginning. And it's Liz on the couch. He sits down next to her, and they do the same thing that him and Ed did. What's the plan for today? And she's like, have a cup of tea, go get the sundaes, go down to here and have a roast, go to the pub, veg out for a bit, come back here, watch some telly, and go to bed. And he's like, good. She's like, good, I'll put the kettle on. And there's the joke that comes back from the beginning where when his mom went to make him tea, she says, do you want any sugar? And he says, I haven't taken sugar in my tea since 1982.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll go put the kettle on. And he goes, can I have 2 sugars, please? And she's like, oh, living crazy. And then he goes, actually, I'm going to pop out to the garden for 2 seconds. And she's like, fine. And he's like, just real quick. And that's when it cuts to him opening the door to the shed and sitting down, and he reaches over to get the remote for the controller. And it says like player 2 is joined, and that's when you see Ed. It's like and he goes, oh, Ed, stop it. and then they just sit there and they're playing video games, and even Ed as a zombie is like,
yes, he's still enjoying the controller. It's what he wants to do.
He's still playing the video games with him.
He's still enjoying it. I love that they kind of just like left it as like, oh well, he's still around. He's still Ed. I gotta imagine that's gotta
he's like
smell
their pet.
after a while.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
And they had a plan to make a sequel, and they were gonna do I think vampires instead of zombies in the sequel, and they were gonna call it From Dusk Till Shaun.
I was going to be
But
like,
they did.
or like Shaun of the Damned would be.
Well,
another-
that was the title, was From Dusk Till Shaun. They were gonna
Oh,
make
okay.
it.
Yeah.
And but they decided to, like, it would take away too much from the original movie, and then they ended up going with Hot Fuzz. I never saw A World's End though. I need to watch that.
You should. It's really. It's good. It's really
Yeah.
fun. It's.
I think
Hot
of the
Fuzz is
it's
great.
really tough for me. I've having only seen Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Like, I think I lean Hot Fuzz
Oh.
Yarp.
personally,
Yarp.
but Shaun of the Dead is so damn good. It's hard to say anything bad about it.
It's a great. Like, not too scary, not too gory. Like, except for that one horrific scene of how David gets ripped apart. It's a great one of Halloween. Like, this is, and it's the humor in it is, it's quick and it's witty, but it's not like super crass or anything. So like, this is one like my wife loved it. She enjoyed it. She thought some parts were really funny, but you definitely, like, you kind of have to understand a lot about British, like a little bit about British culture and like humor and stuff, because there were some jokes that I, like 10 years ago watching it, like, would not have picked up on, but now having watched other British comedies, like, oh, that's what he meant, like that was like a derogatory word, and it's like something that's just, oh, like he's a munch or something like that, and you just, what?
Yeah.
That
It's like
means
when,
nothing to us.
when Mary's in the backyard and he says, like, she's so wasted.
Yeah.
What they originally had in there was she's pissed,
Yes.
which
yeah.
in England means she's pissed drunk. But
Yes.
Right.
since it's different in America, they changed it because it doesn't make sense to us. Sounds like she's so mad. Like, what do you mean she's pissed?
Yeah. What do you mean she's pissed? Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, they're both so funny, and Shaun of the Dead on Rotten Tomatoes has 92% from the critics and a 93% from the fans. Like,
yeah, it works really well, man. Like,
it's really
Got a
funny.
good taste to it.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it does. They use some of those like Guy Ritchie techniques where it's like really fast, like it zooms in and it's here and then it's this and it's like when he goes to call the restaurant, like it's like he goes and he's like, yeah, and he suddenly remembers, and it's like quick, like phone up, book open, point of the thing, calling on stuff, and it kind of keeps it flowing at really nice, a good pace and stuff like that. It keeps it interesting. I actually wanted to look up what was the first zombie video game ever created, and
Resident
there's
Evil?
a debate about it. No, there's a 1982 on the Atari 2600, a game that was called Entombed, was one of the earliest titles, but the one that like is like, this is zombies, it was called Zombie, and it was 1984 for the ZX Spectrum, which I have never heard about. Trey, is that
No.
is that ringing a bell on
The
you?
Spectrum is it's probably one of the systems that led to the video game crash of the 1980s.
Oh, it was like a keyboard. And I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Weird.
Almost like the Commodore.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a keyboard. Man, this thing is wonky weird.
It's like an early home computer. It's not really like a gaming console.
Yeah, that's
You ever
wild, dude.
play Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
No.
Yeah.
Where do you play
That game really doesn't have a lot of zombies in it. Like some
Zombies
of
Ate
them
My
do.
Neighbors?
Yeah, like some of the levels do, but then you're also fighting like giant spiders and like a mad scientist and like all this other crap.
That game used to rule.
It'd be more, yeah. That game's freaking impossible, man. Have you ever tried to beat that game? It's
Yeah.
it's
Do I
annoying.
hear what Trey's gonna play next? I don't know.
I shouldn't have said anything. I should have been like, nope, never played it.
Oh, never done it. Never going to.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors is hard.
Oh man, well, yeah, definitely worth a watch. Definitely a great Halloween movie. But happy Halloween, everyone! I hope you
Happy Halloween.
enjoy your
Eat some
evening if you're listening
corn.
to this in the morning, and I hope you had a great night if you're listening us to the next day or whenever you are. So yeah, thanks for joining us, Tyler. You want to walk us
Some of that
down?
leftover candy.
Oh
Yeah, share it with my fat ass. My big fat ass. I got the diabetes.
That would be my
Thank you guys so much for coming back with us on this wild ride we call Nostalgia Land.
Yeah.
Get in those comments. Leave us some suggestions, stuff you want to hear, stuff you want us to talk about. You could put great movies that you love, or you could put movies that you hate, and we could have us some time to reflect on how bad things can get in the movie scene. we want to make this show like, we want to build a community around it. We want to include all you guys in what we do here. It's just three idiots having fun, talking about old things and some new things. But we really appreciate you. Go check us out on YouTube, Nostalgia Land. Check us out on Instagram, nostalgialand.podcast. Interact with us.
Yeah.
Share our stuff. Share our reels. Send them to your friends and your family. If you love them, if you hate them, whatever makes you feel good.
Do it out of hate. Do it out of hate. Just
yeah.
pure anger. Look at these
the
assholes.
fire in your soul.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yo, waste your time watching this reel. I hate you. But no, we really, 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 really appreciate you guys and all the feedback that we get, and you participating in this. It means everything to us. We do this for fun, and we do this for you guys. Hopefully, you'd enjoy it as much as we do. So until next time,
I'm Matt.
Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowbunga.